You open your window one night after your parents have grounded you for life. You run into the forest because someone once told you that's where kids should go if they ever need help. You make it deep into the forest. Your feet are tired. Your eyelids are heavy. You see a light ahead of you. You head toward it. You find a bus stop. Looks untouched. You sit on the bench. You suddenly hear branches cracking in the distance. A bus shoots out from the trees and parks in front of you. The door opens. No one is driving it. You step inside. You sit in the driver's seat. The bus rockets forward. You try steering, but it doesn't work. You hit the brakes. Nothing happens. You arrive at another bus stop further in the forest. You open the door. A kid steps on. He's silent. The bus continues. More stops. More kids. The bus is packed. You drive ahead. You stop near an open pit. The kids form a line. Your hand moves to open the door as they start falling into it. They stick upright like bowling pins. Dirt spills into the pit. Their heads poke above the ground. You drive off, now in a crazed state. Your hands feel older. Your face feels older. You don't know how long you've been driving. You can't remember why you're here. just know that you have to find more kids to ground for life, for life, for life, for life. You're on the misery bus.
Good morning, class. Hello, this is Mr. Smith, and I am welcoming you to another virtual class time. I know things have been different since we've had to start meeting virtually, but I want to make sure you feel like we are really in this together. You know what I mean, class? I mean, obviously you can't answer. This is pre-recorded, but I want you to feel like you are really here with me. And because you guys are growing up and getting older, I tend to do that by sharing personal anecdotes. So, let's go back in time, shall we? One of my favorite stories of I tell when I was growing up is about a lovely snowman. And we're out of school today because of this beautiful snowstorm outside, and it really made me think back to my childhood. And you see, when I was a kid, me and my brother would go out and we'd build these snowmen, sorry, I have to watch my grammar now. I'm a teacher, I need to be better about that. And we'd go and build snowmen right on the road. You know, and that maybe wasn't the safest thing, but, you know, we liked to see what would happen. We were kind of troublemakers in that way. And we were just goofing off one day. We made one really, really close, and to the places where motorcycles usually drove. They would kind of drive a little bit off the main road and kind of be on the side of it. You know what I mean? Just because, like, they wanted to avoid hitting, like, the big trucks and stuff like that. Well, me and my brother had built a snowman, and, we just saw him swerve to the side, and, this motorcyclist, and collide right into it. And almost, like, just flip off his motorcycle and really hit the ground and tumble, and like, he hit it. And luckily for him, he just kept going, and I was a little disappointed, I'll be honest, because I wanted to see him do a flip. I mean, he was in snow, he would have been fine. I think people forget that snow is a cushion, more cushion for all of you. But we need to go into our main topic today, which is health. Now, obviously, that biker didn't watch his health as well as he should have, because he was out driving in a snowstorm. I mean, no wonder you were going to hit a snowman, right? I mean, I would have expected that. What do you expect kids not to be kids? But health is one of the most important things that we have in our lives, and God wants us to protect our bodies and our minds and keep us healthy and strong in every way conceivably possible. So, boys and girls, I know you are about the age 18 where hormones can be flaring, and even more now than ever before, there will be temptation. Well, let me tell you, boys and girls, temptation is never the answer. I want you to think of me, your good old pal, Mr. Smith. And ladies, if a boy ever tries to come up to you and hold your hand, you just take your hand, curl into a fist, and give him one of these. A knuckle sandwich. Your purity is worth more than anything else in the world. You understand this. It's God's will. And, I tell you, I used to be a real rapscallion myself back in the day. I took a few share of hits when I was an 18-year-old, and let me tell you, in college for the first time, the pool was no longer segregated boys to girls. I mean, that's why we do it here now. That's why you're attending this university. It's because we make sure that you groups are separated and only are meeting in the most intricate and best spaces. We've got a Valentine's dance where we've got plenty of chaperones, and you don't have to worry about anything that could get in the way between you, God, and your future spouse. Now, I know that there's recently been studies saying that putting girls together all together and boys all together just results in more homosexual relationships. Well, let me tell you, boys and girls, remember God. God wants you to be pure with males and females, but he also wants you to wait. You have to wait. Oh, I nearly forgot. Because we're combining health and biology, I brought a little special gift to show you guys, the students, that I think is going to be really fascinating. So I live on a farm, you see, a little bit out there, not many people go out there, and just me and my wife, my kids, and my chickens and goats. And, this afternoon, my good chicken, Henry, passed away. I mean, I guess you could say it was a rooster, but I just name all my hens Henry. It's a pun, get it? And I noticed it had been killed by a fox, but I was really fascinated with its eyes. Because, they say chickens are like God in a way. God is in everything. And you can see the eyes of God in all of his creations. So in my pocket I have here this chicken pupil that I carved out from good old Henry. And I want you to take a closer look at all these cells and microforms. And look at how beautiful God is. How wonderful he is to fill our lives with such joy and wonder. Sometimes I wish I could look into your pupils. Really see what God has in store for you. All those cells must mean something. And And I would love to look into your eyes and tell you just what you mean to God and what you mean to me.
I'm Joshua Dakes.
I'm Isaac Haynes.
I'm Ruth Dean.
This is Spectre Quest. We came here at 6 a.m. and we're gonna be here until 6 p.m.
A little known fact about ghosts. Ghosts actually appear more in the daytime. The misconception about night is because we're so busy with our human nature and lives in the daytime that we're just too loud to hear the ghost. But while we're trapped in this manner, we are going to be super quiet and super stoked to just sit there and listen to whatever the Spectre's got to say.
Yeah, I'm here to help channel any of the energies. Ever since I was about 4, I've had this special connection where I can just feel the ghost energies, and like Isaac said, it's just the daytime, the energy, people just, they don't put it together. But yeah, I think we're gonna get so much evidence and footage here today. I can just feel it. I feel the ghosts around us.
This house belonged to Jebediah Woolsey. He mysteriously died of natural causes at the age of 85.
His grief-stricken family looks for answers that today we hope to provide.
And now, we're here to finally solve the mystery. We're here in the most haunted place in the manor, the bathroom.
What you have to understand is that even ghosts have a need to follow certain patterns much like humans do. So, it would make sense that he spends much of his time in the restroom, just like how we would in reality. Well, not in our reality, not the ghost reality. You see, even though he no longer has to use the restroom, he is forever trapped here, and the bathroom is often a place of comfort for a ghost because it's familiar.
I know that if I was a ghost, I would certainly hang in the bathroom too.
Let's bring in our expert medium to get a sense of what she's feeling.
Oh, the energy here is just so oppressive. I feel his constipation. Oh God, you guys check me. I feel like something may have just scratched me. I feel like I'm channeling something other than constipation right now.
Hey, I recognize this. These claw marks. Have you ever seen the monster can and how it's actually a sign of the devil? This is the exact same markings that the monster can has.
I see the cross.
We are in a cursed place.
With Ruth gone, Isaac and I venture further into the manor.
Inside the decadent closet, I find some vintage antiques that could connect us to our man. This Playboy from the 1970s will suffice. No matter what happens, I need you to maintain eye contact.
Okay.
Please, in the name of Jesus Christ our Lord, give me the power to see through the devil and into the Spectre world. Oh! It's even worse than I imagined. I've never seen women in this undressed before. This is unholy beyond even my wildest imagination. I think I need to go. If I stay one more second in this house, I will become corrupted.
With Isaac gone, now it's up to me to continue. I'm here in the laundry room. I've just found a door that previously had not been discovered. The door has led me to a room with mirrors on the ceilings and walls. The ground is furry and pink. It's the spookiest place I've ever been. There's handcuffs everywhere, whips, flails, a creepy harness hanging from the ceiling. I found a book on the ground. It looks like the words are in Latin. Carme Sutre. I'm seeing something oozing out of the book. It looks white, gooey. I can only think of one thing it might be. Ectoplasm. I've tasted ectoplasm before. I'll have to see if it's genuine. It is. This is the first investigation where we can actually get samples because there's so much. My next investigation will be at a creepy adult theater. Tune in next time to Spectre Quest.
A colony of travelers looking for refuge on uninhabitable worlds crash lands on a dark, inclement planet. The rain that ceaselessly poured over the land was like bullets and tore through those brave enough to venture outside of the ship. The colony was able to survive within the confines of the vessel, but rations would not last forever. With their engines gone, they would be stuck on that planet. Days, weeks, and months passed by. People were getting desperate. Food was beginning to dwindle and tensions quickly escalated. As the near-starving group began to consider turning on each other, the rain stopped. The planet's sun shined in the sky. The pitch-black clouds parted and the ship's doors opened. Children laughed and ran and their parents rejoiced. If only those that couldn't hold out long enough were able to see their people's salvation. Then the sky darkened, and the rain began to fall again. Just as hard as it did before.
Do you not know what roll the window down means?
I'm sorry, officer.
Do you know what time it is?
No, I don't believe in clocks.
It is 12 a.m.
well, I was just driving through, and I said, I don't believe in clocks.
And where were you coming from?
I was, helping my parents paint their barn.
Painting their barn. And what color did you paint it?
Well, it's a barn, so it's red.
Aha. So you're telling me that red on the seat there is paint?
Yeah, it's Sherwin-Williams deck paint.
Uh-huh. Okay. How long you been painting for?
I've been painting for 27 years.
And, do you, always wear cellophane, whenever you paint?
Yeah. It helps keep the paint from staining my clothes. I hate trying to clean it and get them stains out.
Yeah. You do seem like a bit of a messy person, I will say. There's a lot on there.
I get told that a lot.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Where are you from, exactly?
I'm from, I don't know, I guess I consider myself a bit of a freelance worker. I go a little bit of everywhere that you could imagine.
So, come around here much? I don't see a face like yours very often. Those scars, they look a little fresh.
Oh no, I had to get some plastic surgery work done recently, and this is it's just a little oozy and weeping because, being outside, painting all the time is an infection.
It does look like it's healing, yes.
Yeah, I'll keep some ointment on it.
Well, I hope you make a steady recovery. Well, best of luck, and drive safe, all right? All right.
Thank you.
Well, they seemed all right. I think they're on their way. Good to go.
They seemed alright. Boy, they were going 100 miles per hour.
They were within their limits, I think.
Within their limits. Okay, whatever you say. It's your training day, boy. Now, tell me about the perp. What'd you notice?
Well, they had just gotten back from painting a barn at their parents' house.
Painting a barn?
Yeah, painting a barn. It had a bucket in the passenger seat, and they had a plastic jumpsuit on, for the, to kind of make sure the paint didn't get on their clothes, what she said.
Let me get this straight, okay. How dark was this paint bucket?
It was pitch black.
Now, I want you to think for a second. Have you ever seen a barn that is painted pitch black? How dark do barns get when they're painted red? They're pretty bright, right?
They're moderately bright, yes.
Yeah, you know why that is?
Why?
So you can see them from a distance. You think anyone's gonna see that barn in the middle of the night?
As it dries now, no.
So what do you think that red was?
That was blood.
Yeah. It's blood, boy. You see how fast you drove away from us? How are we gonna catch up, huh?
I don't know.
Now, where was it just in the bucket or was it everywhere?
It was all over the seat. It was all over
the seat. Okay.
Oh man, she really played me. That was
she
was
really
dirty.
played you, huh?
Okay.
Okay. What you're gonna do now is you're gonna call in support and have them go along the highway looking for a body.
Oh no.
Because if there was blood in the seat, that means what? That means what? What'd she do with that when she was driving down the highway?
Yeah, she threw the parts out.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna do that, and then once you call that in, we are gonna hightail it to find that car, and then you're gonna have to deal with whatever happens. Both of us.
Martha's gonna kill me.
Or Martha's gonna kill you. I tell you, the whole station's gonna kill you for letting this one slip, buddy.
It's great to be here with you young witches on this fabulous night. Remember, girls, show the world. Let them know it's Halloween. Hit it!
I wouldn't change places with anyone tonight. We'll carve pumpkin faces and watch the witches' flight. Every human heart will shudder. Every soul will shake with fear. Tonight, the creepiest. Tonight, the scariest. Tonight, the most wonderful night. The year anything can happen on Halloween. Your dog could turn into a cat. There may be a toad in your bass guitar, or your sister could turn into a bat. Christmas time brings the snow. Summertime brings the sun. But on Halloween, your blood begins to run. Something spooky's going down. Anything can happen on Halloween. It's better than a video. Gremlin's gonna mess up every cassette from London to Idaho. April 1st can be fun. New Year's Eve is a bore. But on Halloween, your flesh begins to crawl. Oh, I'm losing control. Anything can happen on Halloween. Your toenails grow long and your hair turns green. Your teacher could become a sardine. Your dentist could turn into a queen. Has anybody seen my tambourine? I may start playing big in the beginning. The craziest night you've ever seen. This hairy, scary, creepy, crawling
Yay, let me explain to you. I'm not doubting what you're saying.
You don't care.
I do care.
You don't care about me. You don't care about my people. I care about me. I care about my people. So it's for me to stand up. And God forbid I step on someone's toes while I'm at it.
It's not someone's toes. You stepped on the entire Jewish people's toes with a very deeply inflammatory tweet, which I think you've now accepted. You shouldn't have phrased that way. It's taken a bit of time to get there, but I think you have accepted that, right?
Have you accepted that you've put no effort into understanding how I got there?
I don't think, honestly,
10 years from now,
honestly, I don't think there is any...
You're going to apologize to me about this interview.
I'm not.
You're going to apologize to me about this interview within the next 10 years.
No, I'm not, because here's the thing.
Mark my words.
I don't doubt you've had...
It's very one-sided.
No, it's not.
It's very white-sided.
Oh, come
it's
on,
very one-sided. It's very like
It's not white-sided. I'm not doubting you've had business issues. I'm saying the way to respond to that is not to go public to millions of people and say you're going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people.
Millions of people.
Right.
Millions of people have had DEFCON 3 on their contracts.
Right. You
didn't
say that.
Home to their girl
you didn't say that.
And said, millions of people. Well, I opened it up. Now I didn't, but now I'm saying it now.
Okay,
sir.
so now what
now
I think you should say, I think you should
you...
say to the Jewish people, I'm sorry for the offensive language I used in that tweet. I wouldn't do that again. This is what I really meant. I think people would respect you if you said that. I don't know why you can't just say that.
You know when I'll say it? When I sit down with the people who write out the contracts for the NBA and for the NFL and for professional music and for acting contracts. We need to go to the top lawyers, the top execs, the owners of the stadiums, the owners of the football teams, and the owners of the record labels. And we're going to put them all in one room. And we're going to read let's go top 10 in each one of these categories, right? Let's read Michael B. Jordan's
contract.
But
why would any of that? Okay, but why would any of that? Why would any of that?
Bro, I ain't finished my sentence.
Nothing you're saying has anything to do with regret.
Hey boy,
boy.
Don't finish. I told you. Oh, don't treat me like a boy then. I'm gonna finish my sentence and my idea.
Nothing you're saying has got anything to do with the tweet.
Cool. Bro, I was in the middle of a sentence, boy. Okay, so are you going to allow me to finish my sentence?
Yes. If you then answer my question.
Okay, so I'm going to tell people when I would apologize for the tweet. This is what has to happen first. I need all of the top executives in Hollywood. I need the top executives at the NBA and at the NFL. We'll do those two sports specifically. And I want the top executives in music, dealing with publishing, dealing with like Spotify and Apple Music and Universal Music and all the top exec. Let's do like 5 top execs there. And I want to look at the top 10 earners in each one of those fields' contracts openly. We want to compare and contrast the contracts. And then once we open that conversation, and we need to do it on a platform live with lawyers asking questions, and we'll have the top lawyers like a Johnny Cochran, Robert Kardashian level legal team, like looking at all of these contracts together. After that moment happens, then I will say, I'm sorry.
Okay, if that's your position. That's clear.
Interview adjourned. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's the end of the interview.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's the end of the interview. 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 That's the end of the interview.
Interview adjourned.
Not long ago, something similar to a cul-de-sac, something similar to a sinkhole appeared. It sat at the edge of the neighborhood, waiting, watching, wanting. Strange noises would pass over the houses and through the fences. Some would say it sounded like a whisper, like someone asking a question that desperately needed an answer. That answer would come. It would come in the form of the local children making offerings to the pit that only grew larger the more it was fed. It started simple enough: food and toys, general garbage from around the neighborhood. Just child's play, the parents would call it, not noticing that the trees around the sinkhole had started twisting and seeping in ooze that smelled of decay. The adults didn't even take notice when pets in the neighborhood started disappearing, as with all the other wildlife. In the neighborhood, where the sound of birds and dogs used to intermingle with the sound of the children's laughter, there was now stillness, in what could only be described as a cursive hiss that filled the air. The air was now thick with the scent of decay, the smell coming from the sinkhole that had now swelled to be 5 times the size it had originally appeared as. It grew until it reached the middle of the cul-de-sac, the adults taking to the street to confront the issue that finally made itself enough of an emergency that they couldn't ignore it. The adults gathered around the large hole that one would want to describe as cavernous if it weren't for the viscous ooze that filled it. The ooze, bubbling and churning, releasing a dark, dank breath that smelled of blood and turpentine. Suddenly, the ooze turned inwards, contracting and writhing, then with great intensity burst upwards. It soared into the air above the adults, who were now all bewildered. The mass contorted and giant wings shot from either side, its body growing and stretching. What stood before the flabbergasted adults was nothing of this natural world. The creature, whose form had no clearly defined edge and stood no less than 30 feet tall. Teeth, long, sharp, and yellow. Steam rolled off of its body, and the place where its eyes should have been were smoldering holes. The creature outstretched its massive wings and laughed. Not with just its own, no. It was echoed by the laughs of all the neighborhood children who now formed a circle around the adults. The adults looked around in terror. The faces of their own children shifted before them, curling upwards into something inhuman. The laughter echoed throughout the neighborhood, breaking the thick silence that had covered it just moments prior. The forms of the children, now starting to develop the same uncertain edge that the monstrous creature had. Then, without warning, the children melted into a large puddle of the putrid ooze, scorching and searing the adults' feet and legs. The ooze leached onto them and crawled upwards, devouring the adults. The creature went silent and still, a corrupt smile crossing its face. It lifted its wings once more and with one heavy thrust launched itself into the air and vanished, leaving nothing but an empty neighborhood heavy with the scent of rot, ready to be condemned for the rest of eternity, 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 eternity.
This is the end of the program. Thank you for listening. Good night. 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 Good night.